Today is November 25th, 2024. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, I have a full program today, so I better get started. There is a real concern among pro-lifers in Michigan regarding two pieces of legislation that are currently before the Michigan House, and one of them actually has been introduced in the House and in the and in the Michigan Senate. So I just want to briefly go through some of these bills. The first one is House Bill 6068. It would revise the 2004 bill that established a curriculum or policies regarding sex education, and it's being revamped, revised, repealed, altered, whatever you want to call it, but there's some really disturbing changes. It would allow sex education classes to teach children where and how to obtain an abortion. It would remove teaching that abstinence is a healthy lifestyle for non-married persons. It would remove all references to family planning, that term, family planning, and replace it with sexual health. It would include information on all FDA-approved contraceptives and all legally available pregnancy outcomes, which includes types of abortion available. And it would require teaching about sexual orientation, gender expression, and various gender relationships. Again, though there is a provision of the bill allowing parents to opt out their children from these classes, there is no alternative course that would teach biologically based sexual education. So this is very disturbing. And let's play politics here for a minute. This is being done right now because 2.5 weeks ago, I guess it's 3 weeks ago tomorrow, in the election, the Democrats, the pro-abortion Democrats, lost control of the state house. So on January 1st, the pro-life Republicans will have the majority. And they will not allow any crazy pro-abortion piece of legislation that may originate in the state Senate from getting anywhere in the state house. So Gretchen Whitmer's pro-abortion agenda will die on January 1st. So they are pushing this now in this lame duck session, so to speak, to get these two pieces of legislation passed and signed by the governor before the state house flips into the Republican control. Deceptive, dishonest, corrupt, maybe, but it is raw politics. And we have to face the fact that politics is a dirty business. And that's what's happening right now. They're pushing these two bills because they can do it, because they have both houses for the next 6 weeks, or I guess it's 5 weeks now. Okay, so that's House Bill 6068. Talk to your state rep, to your state senator, and tell them to oppose this bill. Oppose this bill. House Bill 6068. Okay. The next bill is just as coercive and deceptive. It's House Bill 6077, 6077. And it's going through the regulatory committee. It's a policy dealing with reproductive health regulations and licensing and protecting the issues of consent and information gathered regarding a person's reproductive history. So let's talk about this bill. It would seek to limit choices presented to women experiencing an unplanned pregnancy, so abortion seems to be the only option. What have we been saying here? The benefit of a pregnancy care center. They give women who are experiencing an unplanned pregnancy another choice, another option. The choice of life. And then if the woman does choose life, they have the option to keep that baby or to give it up for adoption. To give these women real choices. So this bill is coming along that would limit choices presented to women by telling them they only basically have one option, the option to abort. It would censor the information women are able to see by preventing ads for pregnancy centers from being sent to women within 1,850 feet of an abortion clinic. This is extraordinarily broad and will impact surrounding facilities, especially in urban areas. So they talk about geofencing, where if you're within 1,850 feet, a woman who may be going into a clinic may get on her phone some kind of pop-up information talking about prenatal care or pregnancy options or life-affirming care at a pregnancy care center. Well, here in Kalamazoo, we have alternatives, which is right across the street from Planned Parenthood. And if you've been there, you know that alternatives is well within, I would say, 600 or 700 feet of Planned Parenthood. So they're within that 1,800 feet. And let's suppose there are pro-life sidewalk counselors who are, obviously, they're right in front of Planned Parenthood, but they are within that 1,850 foot zone, and they're using their phones to send messages. That would be outlawed. They would not be allowed to disseminate any kind of pro-life information within that number of feet. Okay. It would engage our state government in the unethical undermining of pregnancy resource centers, suggesting they engage in, quote, the use of a deceptive design, unquote, because they offer life-affirming options to a woman considering an abortion. Though this bill is written in language which covers any reproductive health data, it specifically carves out abortion clinics and targets organizations who attempt to offer options that extend beyond abortion. So here again, we're asking you to talk to your state rep, your state senator, to oppose House Bill 6077. Oppose this bill. So we want you to talk to your state reps about two bills. 6068 on the sex ed kind of curriculum, and 6077 on this regulatory policies that kind of carve out zero options for a pregnant woman looking for life-affirming care. So this is very important because they're going to try to ram this thing through in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So time is not on our side. This has to be done quickly. Okay. Since 1963, the presidents from John Kennedy up until Joe Biden have awarded American citizens and some foreign people the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And, the recipients are actors, writers, journalists, politicians, athletes, business people, inventors, foreign leaders, foreign diplomats, a few popes, other religious leaders like Billy Graham or Mother Teresa. Hundreds of people have been awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom for their contributions to society, but primarily for American society. And it's a prestigious list of people. Some questionable, but for the most part, these are highly respected individuals and well-deserving, I might add. Well, back in 2015, I think 14 or 2013, Barack Obama awarded Gloria Steinem the Medal of Freedom. And, she's highly connected to the whole pro-abortion movement and the National Organization for Women. She's hardly my candidate. But late last week, Joe Biden awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom to the former president of Planned Parenthood, Cecile Richards. And I mean, here again, Planned Parenthood is the biggest abortion facilitator or clinic in the country. They perform more abortions than anybody else in America. And they have done so for the last 15 years. They are the #1 abortion center in the country. And for Joe Biden, this Catholic Joe Biden, to once again, insult the pro-life movement by awarding the highest medal you can give to a non-soldier. You have the Congressional Medal of Honor for people who have done beyond the call of duty, you might say, in heroism, during combat. But here, this medal is given to people who've made major contributions to help society. How is Ms. Richards a worthy recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom? Unbelievable that Joe Biden would do this. Unbelievable. She is not worthy. She has blood on her hands for the millions and millions of unborn babies killed by Planned Parenthood abortion clinic doctors. Shameless, absolutely shameless that he would have done this. She is so unworthy to receive this medal. But she did it because Joe Biden is pro-abortion to the nth degree. So that is a travesty, an absolute travesty that Cecile Richards would get that award. Okay, last thing. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been nominated as President-elect Trump's choice to be Secretary of Health and Human Services. And he would oversee, the Centers for Disease Control, National Health Institutes for Health, a lot of different agencies. And I have a concern. He talks about wanting to make America healthy again, which is great. He sees a lot of problems with some of the ingredients in food, and he's really pushing for that. So I have no problem with that. But Robert Kennedy has been pro-choice, pro-abortion, basically his entire political career. The Kennedy family at large has been pro-abortion. So I'm concerned about his nomination regarding the issue of health. I mean, if he's going to want to make America healthy again, well, let's start with making unborn babies healthy by giving them life. So maybe he's going to have a come to Jesus moment or an epiphany, and maybe he's going to turn it around and become pro-life. I mean, he is a Catholic. Maybe he's going to see that the reality that the life does begin at conception. If we want fact-based science, well, let's look at the fact-based science of fetal development and the fact that life begins at conception. And it doesn't begin at 6 weeks or at 10 weeks or 12 weeks or 15 weeks or viability or at birth. Life does not begin at viability. Life begins at conception. So let's hope that if he is confirmed, that he will follow through with being a pro-life Secretary of Health and Human Services. So remember those two bills. Call your state reps and state senators. House Bill 6068 and House Bill 6077 to vote no on both of those bills. With that, I'll let you go, and I'll see you next time.